All right, welcome to Roundtable for May. We have a nice full schedule for you today, and we are going to get started with the pledge and scout oath and law. Give me just a moment to pull that up. We have to share the sound. Here we go.
Those in uniform, please salute. Those who are not, put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
All right. And then for our prayer today, we have the Sklar family. Come on, video, you can do it. Go. All right, we are going to have our prayer in just a moment. So Ez is going to go ahead and talk to us about the Scout Law point while I get the prayer to work.
Absolutely. So here we go. This month's Scout Law point is a Scout is thrifty. 10 reasons a Scout is thrifty. Number 1, so many Scout merit badges, including citizenship, entrepreneurship, fish and wildlife management, gardening, personal management, nature, public health, soil and water conservation, and wilderness survival, link closely to the concept of thrift. To some people, of course, being thrifty just means being cheap or stingy. But Boy Scouts of all people know better. Thrift is a big idea. It means making the wisest use of all that we have. An old poster says, real thrift is the saving and intelligent use of health, time, and property of all kinds, including money. In fact, even the word thrift comes from the word thrive. So much of what scouting is comes from the wonderful idea of thrift. Number 2, a big part of thrift is taking good care of the woods, of wildlife, and of our natural resources. An old poem for children says, "We will be a thrifty nation when we all learn conservation." Scouts of all people are committed to wise conservation and care for the natural world. Number 3, a big part of thrift means planning for the future. To be thrifty means focusing not just on today, but also on tomorrow. Does that idea remind you of anything? What about the Scout motto? Be prepared. Number 4, a major purpose of being a Scout is to build character. The same is true of thrift. Mr. S.W. Strauss, a successful businessman who many years ago founded the American Society for Thrift, said, "As we build the ideals of thrift, we build character." Number 5, why is a Scout reverent? Part of the answer is that a Scout is grateful for and wants to take good care of all that God has given him. This idea is sometimes called stewardship or being a good steward. Being thrifty is another way of saying being a good steward. A Scout is generous. He promises to help other people at all times, and he tries to do a good turn daily. Being generous is a huge part of being thrifty. One reason that thrifty people can be generous is that they work hard and save wisely, so that they may have more with which to help others. The famous religious leader John Wesley summed up thrift this way: earn all you can, save all you can, then give all you can. Number 7, scouting teaches the way to success. So does thrift. The world's most famous book ever, Thrift, written by Americans' own Benjamin Franklin, was called The Way to Wealth. As he put it in a letter to a young friend, "Be industrious and frugal, and you will be rich." Number 8, the founders of the Boy Scouts believed that thrift is very important. The very first statement of the Boy Scout law in 1910 stressed that a Boy Scout is thrifty. Number 9, the Boy Scouts and thrift have a long and proud history together. Years ago, the Boy Scouts helped to sponsor National Thrift Week, 1 week each year during which young Americans and older ones too focus on the great importance of thrift. Number 10, today we live in some very challenging economic times. Many Americans are hard pressed in difficult times, especially. We need to think creatively and wisely about how we are using money. We need to be smart and we need to have a plan. We need to care, discipline, and foresight. We need to reduce waste. We need to save and conserve. In short, in today's tough times, more than ever, we need thrift. So there you have it. A Scout is thrifty.
Thank you, Esmeralda. And now prepare yourself for our prayer.
Hi, my name is Bev Sklar,
I'm Sid Sklar.
and we're here to offer Roundtable meeting this evening a Jewish prayer to begin Roundtable. We'll share it in Hebrew and in English.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'tzilchei tzibor. Blessed are you, eternal God, Majesty of the universe, who has consecrated us with your commands and commanded us to occupy ourselves with the needs of the community.
Have a nice meeting this evening, and thank you for asking us to share this Jewish prayer.
Thank you, Sklar family, for sharing your faith with us. We are looking for either families or units who would like to lead the oath and law and the pledge, or your scouting appropriate religious prayer. So if you are interested in doing that, or if your family is interested in doing any of those, please contact Ez and I, and we'd love to have a recording to share. Now we're going to talk about the Info Minute. So let's pull that up and share with you everything that's going on in scouting. The magic head. Here we go. All right. First off, we've got COVID restriction updates. Things are changing rapidly. We just got news just a couple hours ago. Some mask things might be changing in scouting soon, but they have not as of yet. So whatever happens in the next few days or the next few weeks with COVID restrictions, please don't change anything you're doing with your units until you hear from council. Council will share as soon as they have information. We will put it online. We will put it in emails. I promise you, as soon as we know, we will share if things are changing. As of right now, we don't have anything new to report though in that area. Next, we're going to talk about YPT training. They are updating some modules in YPT. So if you are in progress of taking YPT to update it, or if you have any leaders who are, just starting and they're taking it for the first time, have them finish it by June 1st. At June 1st is when the updates are going to go through, and if you're in progress, you're going to lose the progress that you have on it. So finish it if you haven't, or if you need to redo it, you might want to consider waiting, if you can, until June 1st for the new module to come out. Next is the Summer of Service. We're going to be talking a little bit more about this later, but National has announced that the summer of 2021 has been designated the Summer of Service. As we have throughout our history, scouting families are answering the call to work together in service of the greater good. From public health drives to caring for the environment to assisting neighbors in need, Scouts have always been a force for the positivity and goodness in our communities. Go to the Summer of Service website and find out how your unit can get started earning their Summer of Service patch. In popcorn kickoff training news, their popcorn kernel popcorn kernel training will be held June 1st at 5:30 at the Lockport American Legion. You will need to register online for that so that we are sure to stay within the numbers that we need to have. Kickoff is going to be celebrated at a Joliet Slammers game, which is very exciting, on Tuesday, August 3rd, and will include a hot dog, chips, and a drink. This is open to all scouts, and you will need to register for that on the council's website as well. Next, we have an Eagle Scout recognition event, which is happening on June 5th at RSR. Information about that is on the website. In adult training news, we just had a bunch of adult trainings. So we have the spring training season over. There is probably going to be some more adult training available during summer camp. So watch for news for that. So if there's something in particular that you need to take, watch for that. Otherwise, your adult training opportunities will be back in the fall, including Wood Badge. And Wood Badge, hopefully y'all have heard of it because I've talked about it at every single roundtable for the last year. But Wood Badge is a 5-day course taken over 2 weekends for a troop leader, any type of troop leader. You can be a committee member and still take a lot home to help your troop with. For Scouters interested in taking Wood Badge are committed to the program and want to do good things and make a positive impact in scouting. Wood Badge will be held October 9th through 11th and October 23rd through 24th, and registration is open and online. If you've been sitting on the fence or you are not sure if you want to take it, or you are sure and just haven't signed up yet, go on and register. We cannot run the course until we have enough people registered. So especially if you've decided you're taking it and you haven't signed up yet, now is the time. I also see Bob McMillan says, can Cub leaders also take Wood Badge too? And they can. They can, and I took it as a Cub leader, and it was probably one of the most useful things that I have learned in scouting. All right. Summer camp. Everybody wants to know what's going on with summer camp. Guess what? We want to know too. What we're doing is we're planning for the worst and hoping for the best. So there are contingency plans in place for pretty much any scenario that we have to go through this summer. But things are looking really good right now. Things are looking really, really good for summer camp right now. So as soon as we know, we will share. I promise. We'll put it out there to make sure everybody knows. But right now, things are still changing day by day. And the reason that they can't tell you how they're going to do things is because they're not even sure themselves. They have all these different contingency plans ready to go. So as soon as they can, they'll put it out there and make sure everybody knows what's going on. I want to know too. I've got 2 troops going, but I promise we'll let everybody know. All right, moving forward, we've got other programming. In other programming news, we have a Golf Classic fundraiser coming up. Council puts this on yearly. They are looking for volunteers to help run the event, so registration. And they're also looking for people to play. So this is a great fundraiser for Rainbow Council. Go play a game of golf. There's lots of awards and prizes. It's a good day, fun day outside. If you're a golfer, if you don't have to be a scouter to do it. So if you have a party from your work that wants to come in and sponsor it, you get a day of golf and you get to help support Rainbow Council. There is a Slammers sleepover coming up, and I got a duck. This is being put on by the Joliet Slammers. This is not a Rainbow Council event. So this is open to any scouts that would like to go, including troop level. And it is on August 14th. $15, you get a reserved seat ticket for the game. You get popcorn and a drink, and there's a movie after the game. You get a patch and breakfast in the morning, and you get to camp on the outfield, which is super cool. I've had a lot of scouts that have gone and said it's a lot of fun. So if you're interested in doing that with your scouts or with your unit, that is something you need to go to the Slammers website to book. But it's a neat opportunity. This one's Cub Scouts. We're skipping it. This is the Jamboree. This is a worldwide event that is put on every year, and it is a bowling tournament around the world, and you can have everything from Cubs on up through troops participate in it. And there's a website, and you sign up your bowling team and you report your scores. And then there is a list of everybody's scores all over the world, and there's prizes, and you get a cool patch. And it's fun to be able to participate in something with scouts from other part of the world. There's also a Scout Life reading contest. I know this because I read my kids' Scout Life magazines too, because then I find stuff like this and make them participate in it. But there's this great reading program where they write a one-page report on their favorite book. And the winner of the contest, there's different age levels. So yes, there are for the older scouts as well. There are nice big cash prizes for the Scout Shop online. So this might be something that if they're not motivated on their own, they might be motivated by the sweet, sweet Scout Store certificate at the end. Plus they get a cool patch. So if they like patches, they get a fun patch. Finally, do you have something that you would like to be added to the scouting, to the info minute? Please make sure to get it to either Esmeralda or I, either one of us, and we'll make sure to add it in. This is the place. We'll get it all out to everybody, and we just ask that you give us a couple days before Roundtable so that we can add it in. And that's all I got.
All right. So for this month, we have the Scout Award, and this month is the Interpreter's Strip, okay? The Interpreter's Strip is to signify that either a youth or adult member speaks a foreign language, one other than English. Who can earn this award? Any member who speaks a specific foreign language demonstrate knowledge by carrying on a 5-minute conversation in this language, translating a 2-minute speech or address, and writing a letter in the language, does not apply to sign language, or translating 200 words from the written word. The requirements. Youth and adults may wear this strip if they show their knowledge of a foreign language or sign language by carrying on a 5-minute conversation, translating a 2-minute speech or address, writing a letter in that language, and translating 200 words for the written word. The interpreter strip is also for Morse code. And this strip is to show knowledge of Morse code by doing the following: carrying a 5-minute conversation in Morse code at a speed of at least 5 words per minute, copying correctly a 2-minute message sent in Morse code at a minimum of 5 words per minute. Copying means writing the message down as it is received, and sending a 25-word written document in Morse code at a minimum of 5 words per minute. I actually have one, and this is worn over on the left side pocket. I had to figure out which one was which. And it's really good because if you ever decide to go to a national jamboree or a world jamboree, scouts and scouters that see the strip knows that you can communicate in that specific language other than English. So, or in their case, they can speak English, and then that way you can actually have a way of communicating with just your uniform by itself. If you need more information, you can always go to the BSA website and get the documentation that is needed to have it signed off. And next, let me introduce to you Melissa Rubrick, who is our Council VP of Membership. Take it away, Melissa.
Hello. So we have our monthly membership minute, and this month let's talk about membership retention and recruitment during your summer planning conferences. So first of all, most troops already involve all of their scouts in their summer planning PLC meetings, but please make sure that new scouts know that this meeting is for them too. Now, what about your troop committee? For you, how about consider a parent survey? May is a great time to survey either on paper or through a free online tool like SurveyMonkey or Google Forms. While Journey to Excellence is a great way to gauge how you are meeting national standards, a troop parent survey can help you focus on how you are doing in the eyes of your families. Asking ranking questions like, on a scale of 1 to 5, how satisfied are you with the troop, or how effective is the troop's communication, can help you gauge your overall effectiveness. And asking the same questions year to year can also help track your improvements in these areas. Also consider open-ended questions to use in your summer plans. Questions like, how can the troop committee improve event signups, payments, or communication? Or what has the troop committee not been doing that we should start doing next year? Can be very interesting in helping you to grow in the way you serve your families. Keeping the survey anonymous can help to get truly honest feedback, while allowing contact information for follow-ups can help you to address any specific concerns. For those interested, I do have a sample Google form and Word doc survey available. Feel free to reach out anytime if you'd like a copy to start your own survey.
Thank you, Melissa, very much. Melissa is doing our membership minute every month because that is one of the biggest feedbacks we see, is that you guys would like more information on membership and retention and gaining new members. So thank you, Melissa, very much. All right, now we're going to talk about an adult award called the Scouting Veteran Award. Now, I'm going to admit this one was new for me. I knew about Service Stars, but I was not familiar with the Scouting Veteran Award. It is similar to Service Stars, but it is an adult-only recognition. However, tenure earned as a youth may be included in the total number of years registered. After 5 years of registered service in the BSA and every 5 years thereafter, an adult may, upon application, receive the designation of veteran, provided the person agrees to live up to the scouting obligations, which are to keep local scouting authorities in the community in which residing informed as to availability for service. So we keep scouting, you know, we let everybody know that scouts are available to help. And further, to be as active in the promotion of the cause of scouting as circumstances and conditions permit. So we're active in scouting. Service in scouting organizations other than the Boy Scouts of America does not count towards veteran recognitions. Sad day for some of us. An individual must currently be a paid registered member of the Boy Scouts of America to receive an award. Scouters desiring recognition must have maintained an active registration relationship for the required number of years. So if you're not actively registered as a scouter, you don't count those for your tenure. And paying the annual registration fee. And the periods of service claimed for veteran recognition need not be continuous. So if you took a few years off and you come back, then all those years count together. So every 5 years, you can get a new pin, and the pins get a little bit fancier the longer you're in scouting, which is kind of cool. All right. The next thing that we are going to talk about is our safety minute. And our safety minute is about sun safety this month, which, you know, sun's coming out again. It's exciting. We're doing outdoor stuff. You know, we all kind of have a good idea of how to keep our scouts safe from sunburn. But there are a couple things that we need to talk about. One is, I'm sure you're aware that the BSA has safety incident reports. So if you have to do paperwork for council, that's super fun, right? That means you did something, one of your scouts did something real special. But those reports helped create these reports, and they are available on National's website, and they're BSA safety incident reviews. So they compile, you know, the leading causes of incidents, and then they create educational material for you to tell you about what some of those incidents are and how you can prevent them. So they talk about how some scouts have experienced first and second degree sunburns on exposed portions of their faces during ski trips and snow sports where people don't think they need to have sunscreen on. They also talk about how when you're on the water and the sun bounces, and so you're burned on parts of your face and arms, underarms that you did not know that you could burn, and receive first and second degree burns on. Then let's see, there are all kinds of information on those, and those are interesting to peruse. So if you've got a leader who's really resistant to maybe a safety, you can go to that part of the National BSA's website and pull up those incident reports and share some of the special things that have happened to scouts. One thing we do want to keep in mind is our scouts at the troop level, they travel more for summer camps in places they're not familiar with. So we need to make sure when our scouts are planning their adventures that they take into account if they're going somewhere at a higher elevation, they are closer to the sun and will get burned easier than they will at home. So they may need to consider different clothing or different sunscreens that they are used to. Again, same with the snow adventures, not so much a problem right now, but water adventures. If your scouts are going to sea base this summer, they might not have ever been to a place like that and understand that they're going to get sunburns in interesting places if they're not careful. And finally, that the most active time that you are going to get a sunburn is between 10 and 4. So maybe have your scouts take that into consideration when they're planning their activities. And also, again, they need to reapply their sunscreen. Teach them now. They might not have learned at home. Teach them now for sunscreen. They need to take sunscreen breaks. Look at the bottle, tells them when they need to reapply it. That might not be something they're familiar with, and make sure they have it with them and that they're applying it regularly or they're wearing appropriate clothing. So that is your safety minute about sun. And now we're going to work on our general topic today, which goes right along with the summer of service. Give me one moment. We're going to pull it up. The summer of service, but we're going to talk about the safety aspect of the summer of service, because service projects are awesome. Here we go. And this is the website for that summer of service. It's a big thing. It's not just a, hey, do this. And no, this is a big deal. National really wants us to all commit to participating in the summer of service. And this website that they've set up has pretty much everything we need to get ideas and execute the whole project. They have different steps, breaks it down nice and easy for your scouts, because we all know scouts, BSA is scout-led. So they need a little bit of direction to get started, but here are ideas. There are ideas for different projects, and then they complete their project. They post it using the hashtag summer of service, which is kind of cool because you'll be able to search those and find what all the other units have been doing this summer. Report it to National. That's this button right here. So they want to know what you've done. And then celebrate. There are patches and certificates that you can give your scouts at their court of honor, or they can give each other, and you can maybe incorporate it with maybe some type of end of summer party. Here are a bunch of ideas. If you click on each one of those, it will give you lots of ideas for service projects. We're not going to click on each of those today because that's not what our focus is on, but you might want to look at those in your free time or point your scouts to them. What we're looking at today is down here, the safety guidance, because safety, safety, safety. But it's been, a good year since we've done anything, and it's a good refresher. One thing you're going to see is we used to have the BSA Safe 16, and the Safe 16 or Sweet 16 was what we were supposed to use as the guideline to know if an activity was okay for scouting or not. Now we are transitioning to a SAFE scouting activity. So the acronym SAFE: supervision, assessment, fitness and skill, equipment, and environment. And these are areas that we are checking as we're planning an activity to make sure that we are planning a safe activity, or our scouts are planning a safe activity. But if you click on the drop down of each one, it will tell you the different things that you need to consider when you're having them plan their activity, such as that the supervision is adequate, that the knowledge of the people assisting is adequate, and they have safety personnel are there, and that you're following all the BSA's guidelines for YPT and such like that. Assessment is assessing for risk. Again, that could be, how am I getting there? Am I travel safely? Are the adults who drive their cars, are they insured properly? Do they have a history I don't know about that I should know about before they take my kids? The age appropriate level for the activity. So again, there's a flow chart that tells you what activities. Base jumping, can I do that? No, not so much. But again, from this, can my scouts run chainsaws? No, they cannot run chainsaws. Can my adults run chainsaws? No, they cannot run chainsaws unless they have BSA's chainsaw safety training. So that's a thing, in case you didn't know it. This is where you would go to find that information out. Fitness and skill, think about, are my scouts capable of this project that they've planned? Are they going to leave anybody out by what they've planned? Maybe one of my scouts has a disability that is not going to allow them to participate. Can they modify the activity so that everyone gets to be involved? And finally, equipment and environment. Again, chainsaws, we're using chainsaws. Can we do that? No, we can't. Making sure that they have the correct safety gear. They have gloves. Do they need goggles? So it's fun to watch the kids plan, and it's great when they get fired up about something. Your job as the adult is to step in and make sure that these safety things are being thought of and followed. Again, you can download this as a PDF and give it to the kids or give it to the other adults that are helping the planning. Also, we'll go back to this page. This is the Safe Planning Checklist. This is a worksheet that you can use to go over all of these different supervision, assessment, fitness and skills, equipment and environment. This is great for planning. And I know it may seem really simple, like, oh, I got to check these off. This I can think of. These are all basic. But think about it. When you're busy planning a large event, sometimes the very basics go unthought of until it's too late. And then you go, oh, poop, I should have thought of that. This helps you keep track of that as you're planning. And then we've got safe tool use. This one is great. This is talking about what tools can and can't we use with our scouts by age level. Here's a great flow chart about, you can see, oh, riding mowers. We're gonna mow some lawns. Adults are only permitted to use the riding mowers. Push mowers, they can use the push mowers at the Scouts BSA level, but they cannot use the riding mowers. Same with the chainsaws. And you know why they've had these rules developed is because things happened that were bad with Scouts using these equipments. So make sure that you're checking this list. If you're not sure, it's here, and we'll help you find it again if you get lost. And then finally, there's the COVID guidelines, which we're all hopefully very familiar with by now. But in case you're not, there's a list here of what we do and have to follow. So keep in mind when you're planning any type of activity for your summer of service that you're taking into account what's safe and what's not. And we will stop that there. Actually, we're going to roll right into our final topic of the day, which is the patrol method. All right.
Lord Baden-Powell, the founder of Scouting, said, "The patrol system is not one method in which Scouting can be carried on. It is the only method. In order to truly achieve the aims of the Scouting program to their fullest, the patrol method must be at the center of the troop's operation." In his Aids to Scoutmastership, Baden-Powell writes, "The patrol system is the one essential feature in which Scout training differs from that of all other organizations, and where the system is properly applied, it is absolutely bound to bring success. It cannot help itself. The formation of the Scouts into patrols of 6 to 8 and training them as separate units, each under its own responsible leader, is the key to a good troop. The patrol is always the unit of Scouting, whether for work or for play, for discipline or for duty. An invaluable step in character training is to put responsibility on the individual. Your troop should understand the patrol method gives real responsibility to as many Scouts as possible. Each patrol member learns they have a definite responsibility for the good of the troop. Scouts BSA Scouters must remember the troop is not divided into patrols, but rather is comprised of patrols. The patrols, through the Patrol Leaders Council, plan and conduct the troop program. Within the patrol, the Scout learns to work with others as a team and has a chance to be a participating citizen. Being in a patrol will be the first time most young people have to rely upon themselves and others to follow an array of necessary steps to satisfy an objective that requires a wide range of life skills, like promoting personal fitness. Like any team, a patrol will function well only as long as all particular responsibilities pertaining to the completion of a task are carried out successfully. Because of its size, this gives every member an opportunity to participate, and this in itself results in some positive outcomes. Contributing to the patrol's success provides a welcoming sense of belonging, of being appreciated, and a feeling of competency resulting in better self-esteem. As a scouter in your troop, you might have your patrol leaders council and fellow scouters look at the way your troop is structured regarding patrol formation. Your troop should decide which concept works best for them. Example of patrols are mixed age patrols and same age patrols. A mixed age patrol is made up of scouts of all ages and ranks. Each patrol always has members who needs to learn scouting skills and members who are able to teach those skills. Each patrol also has experienced leaders and members who will need leadership experience. These patrols are fairly evenly matched for games and skill competitions. With this concept, all members do not age out at the same time. Same age patrols consist of new scout patrols, regular patrols, and older scout patrols. The new scout patrol is made up of youth who just became scouts. The troop guide works closely with the elected patrol leader along with an assistant scoutmaster. The regular patrols in your troop normally consist of scouts who have earned the rank of first class or higher. Members of a regular patrol have similar interests and abilities. They enjoy spending time together and may well be friends outside of scouting. Ideally, they have chosen to be in the same patrol. A new scout should join a regular patrol if there are not enough newcomers to form a new scout patrol, or if they were invited to join the troop by an older buddy. Older scout patrols serve those scouts who want to pursue more challenging high-adventure outings and sport activities while remaining in the troop. These scouts often have a been-there, done-that attitude, so their patrol activities offer them new challenges while keeping them involved in troop leadership. You might think of the older scout patrol as a safety valve. This concept can be very helpful if you have older scouts who may not be interested in engaging your younger scouts during troop meetings and activities, or if you have a retention problem. When deciding which patrol structure will work best for your troop, remember, an invaluable step in character training is to put responsibility on the individual. Only by allowing the scouts to succeed or fail on their own can they understand the importance of being responsible for their actions. Okay, please take the remainder of this breakout session to discuss the questions on the screen. Thanks for watching, and scout on.
All right. So hopefully we all know that patrol method is not an optional method of scouting. It is the only method of scouting in the troop level. Patrols are part of the program, and if your troop is not using the patrol method, then have a talk with your unit commissioner and let's see what we can do to help you figure this out. But we're going to talk about the patrol method a little bit more today. And what do you think some of the results that you should expect to see from using the patrol method? Why do we do it? What do we see? What do we get from it? Come on, be brave.
You know you want to, Fred. Come on.
All right. So, it gives scouts, the sense of ownership and leadership, right? So the way we operate is very much as it's a scout, very much a scout run troop, as it should be. So we get out of the way. We make sure they just don't kill each other. So, but we let them fail and then we teach them what they did wrong. But we do our best with right now our SPL is 13 years old. you know, he's the next gen. I mean, that age gap is the next generation. And so he's learning along the way, and he's getting his his PLC moving, but it's leadership opportunities for them to understand they have to interact with their peers and older scouts and younger scouts and know how to navigate all that. That's not easy to do, but it's what makes scouting successful and what makes us more well-rounded individuals.
Yes, exactly. Like the money word there is practice. It gives us leadership practice, right? When we have patrols, you've got more than one person practicing their leadership skill. You have each patrol functioning and practicing leadership skills. So that's how they learn and get ready to do the bigger leadership. So he's practicing at 13, and think about when he gets to be 18, he'll have had all those opportunities to practice his leadership skills.
And we're nowhere near perfect, but it is something we work on constantly.
But that's the whole point. That's the whole point. Scouting is a safe place to fail. We want the kids to practice their leadership skills and mess up and learn how to come back from that mess up at 13, 14, 15 years old, and not at 25, being the first time they've ever had to do that, right? So that's the whole point.
and even that 13-year-old, if they go back and doing that SPL role again at 16, 17, he's already learned, okay, this is what I did last time. I'm not doing that again.
Yep.
So absolutely, it's reciprocal. I mean, it recycles over and over and over again. We're
fortunate enough to have a few Eagle Scouts that haven't aged out yet, and so we've also got them as mentors. So we have one of our Eagle Scouts who's not 18. He's mentoring our SPL. We have another one that is leading troop guides. We have a few that haven't quite aged out. We were fortunate in that arena, but they're doing different things to mentor the next generation of leaders in our troop.
Awesome.
That is great.
All right, so let's talk about what circumstances should the Scoutmaster defer to the patrol leader?
Great question.
Let's get someone else. Who else? When should the Scoutmaster defer to the patrol leader?
I'd say at every instance that doesn't involve safety.
Yes, absolutely. Why?
Scouting is a scout-run organization, so the leaders defer to the youth.
Yeah. So unless it's health or safety, and even then, you can ask the patrol leader, "What do you think we should do?" And then, then if they say, "Oh, well, I think we should definitely light that gasoline on fire," that's when you say, "No, that is wrong. We're not going to do that." But yeah, we defer to the patrol leader like all the time, over and over again until it gets annoying, because that's how we keep it scout-led and scout-focused. All right, when is it appropriate for a scouter to step in and take over from the youth leader? Oh, I think we just answered that. When is it appropriate to step in? Yeah, when they're going to light the gasoline on fire, right? When it's something super dangerous. You could also step in just quietly. If there's something going on and the meeting is really, really feeling out of control, how would you as a adult leader help that situation while still maintaining the youth-led program? How do you think? Crickets. Oh, Karen, do you have an answer?
One thing that we do is we just kind of point to the watch so they know they've got a time limit.
Okay, that'd work. That'd work. Any other ideas? Brian, he's got his hand. No, that's not you. That's my own mouse. It looks like a hand up.
Are you volunteering?
Yeah.
I know one way we've done it in our troop is that the Scoutmaster or one of the scouters would go over to the SPL or the patrol leader and just kind of give them clues, ideas, or helpful hints on how to bring it back around to them being the leader. So it's not you're helping, but via
scaffolding.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's another way of looking at it as well, that way you're not embarrassing the patrol leader or the SPL, that you're being that helpful hand to go, hey, try this, or have you tried it this way? Or what do you think about doing it this way? Or things like that. So.
Yeah, so if your troop is going Lord of the Flies and your SPL looks like he's drowning, definitely just pull him aside privately and pull her aside, pull him aside and say, hey, you want a little help? Here's an idea. But we want to make sure that it's scout-led and patrol-led too. So I think it's easy to forget about patrols. What do you do in your troop to make sure that your patrol leaders are getting practice as leadership on their leadership skills as well? Because it's really easy to forget about those patrol leaders. What do you do to make sure that they get the experience they need? Nobody wants to talk tonight.
Right.
So in our troop at the PLC, it's the patrol leaders who are the first to volunteer or get volunteered to be the leaders for troop skills or troop training, that kind of stuff, so that they still get an audience in front of the whole troop, get that experience. And sometimes they need to be gently prodded to take over that role, but most of the time it seems to work pretty well. We've gotten into a very nice groove of late where the patrol leaders will either volunteer or they'll have somebody in mind in their patrol to volunteer to teach that troop skill for that meeting.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one. Anybody else? Okay. So let's remember how important patrols are, that is the program, and it's there for a reason, and it's to give the kids that leadership opportunity. Did anyone have any questions or anything they wanted to talk about the patrol program? Okay, this would be your time now. We've got some commissioners here to ask any questions, any related questions to scouting. It could be anything from national to Rainbow Council, and we will try our best to answer your questions.
Nobody.
I have just a small comment, guys, and this is more a comment than a question.
Sure.
I want to say that Melissa and Esmeralda did an awesome job with the Boy Scout roundup that we did, the membership drive. Pretty modest turnout, but fantastic job putting the whole thing together. I think it went really well. You guys should really feel proud about that.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
We did actually get one magical unicorn 11-year-old that wanted to join Scouts BSA. So I'm hoping we sold them on one of the troops. We do have more events coming. There's a Cub Scout one tomorrow and a Joliet one and a Bolingbrook one in person coming up this month too. So.
Oh, very nice. We'll be at Ironworks this weekend as well.
Yes, Sunday, yes. Ironworks. If you know any families in Joliet looking for scouting, and the following Sunday in Bolingbrook, if you know any families interested in scouting, send them our way. And we will be in person, all ranks. And I think Joliet's also going to have some crews as well, not just, or explorers maybe, not just
explorers.
Troops.
So we're going to try to get explorers in, and it's from 2 to 4 for those that are putting that information out there. 2 to 4, Ironworks, right off of Columbus Drive over there in Scott Street over there in that corner.
And then the Bolingbrook one is the following Sunday, 2 to 4 also. It's Meyer Park, I believe, in Bolingbrook, and maybe an Ironworks tour and maybe a ability to go fishing in Bolingbrook when you're done listening to the units. So if any units are interested in participating, we're still taking people. And if anybody knows any scouts interested, send them our way.
Nice.
Yes, there are Facebook events shared out on the Roundtable pages and things too, so you can share them out and see more details.
Yes. Anything else? Any other burning questions, comments, statements, complaints, praises? Anything?
All right.
Song, dance party.
You guys were easy. Well, hopefully you guys are gearing up for doing some fun scouting, getting back to doing fun scouting things. And hopefully you've got some nice adventures planned. And we'll hope to see you all again next month. Other than that, happy scouting. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.